As a former teacher and school principal, I always loved the parent-teacher conference because I loved getting together with parents to talk about their child. But too often, it seems like one-sided monologue when it should be a place of dialogue. So in this video, I have two tried and true methods to inspire more dialogue at those conferences. Parent-teacher conferences are not always fun. Parents show up to hear about their child's report card, which can be intimidating, and they're asked if they have questions. Many times parents don't. Not because they didn't want to ask, but mostly because they didn't have time to process the information. There are two ways to improve that parent-teacher conference experience. Probably more than that, but I have two. But before we get there, I need to ask you a favor. Consider subscribing to the channel down there and like it if you do indeed like it. Now for the conferences. What we know is that parents should never be surprised by a child's report card when they show up to that parent-teacher conference. In this day and age, with tech tools that keep parents informed of what their children need to hand in and how they did on assessments, parent-teacher conferences should not be a surprise. But there are at least two ways to enhance the experience. Because I'm a big fan of going into a situation as a learner, even a parent-teacher conference. And that idea that learning can happen through a conversation is an aspect of social learning theory where we focus on things like meaning. We look for a deeper meaning in what we do and our practice. Do we share practices that can be impactful for one another? What about the sense of community? Teachers, parents, and students and school leaders are a community and identity. Learning changes who we are. That all comes from Wenger's social learning theory. With that in mind, number one is send the report card home a week before the conference. Not necessarily groundbreaking, but when I was a principal, I had a friend from high school post on Facebook that she was really frustrated that she went to her child's conference, was handed a new Common Core report card, and then asked if she had any questions. She posted that she didn't have time to actually think of any questions because the teacher literally handed her the report card and asked. She didn't have a child in the school where I was a principal, but as soon as I read the post, I thought, oh my gosh, we actually do that to parents. So I talked with teachers, and we agreed to send the report card home a week early with some sample questions that parents could ask when they came to the conference. Now, I did mention in the letter that they could certainly ask any questions they had, but please wait, until the conference to ask them. We actually called it flipping the report card process, and it created more dialogue. Number two was student-led conferences, and I know that these are not new. However, there's something so powerful about working with students to create their own portfolio and then allowing the children the opportunity to be a part of the conversation about their grades and assessments. I know it takes time, but it is so worth it. If we want to foster student voice, then we need to allow them to be a part of the process. And I was an elementary school teacher and principal, so if they can do it in first grade, they can do it in any grade. If we want our parent-teacher conferences to be places where we can engage in deep dialogue and a place where parents understand truly what their children are learning, then we need to make the process more than one-sided monologue where we talk at them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and possibly share it with your closest million friends.